Hey guys, I know I haven't posted on this channel in a while, but I have a few announcements I want to go over real quick. If you're from the WOC server and you're here for the Outside Edition episode, just skip to here. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to be doing weekly uploads on a Minecraft server called the World of Countries. If you don't know me that much, you're probably like, what is this guy even talking about? Let me explain. So basically there's a seasonal server hosted by a buddy of mine, Josh, where a bunch of us get together and build up factions of players and fight each other. There are no mods, it's just vanilla Java Edition Minecraft. If you're curious about joining the server, I'll have the Discord linked in the description below. So lots of dramas goes down on the server, so to keep track of it all, a couple of us are going to be doing weekly videos, podcasts, news updates, stuff like that. I'm doing my own podcast on the server called the Outside Edition. Get it? Because it's like okay, whatever. Basically, I show my perspective and provide feedback on everything important that happens on the server from an outsider's perspective. I'll be interviewing people through Discord, talking about political matters, and covering any news updates on the server. I'll also be streaming on my Twitch, and sometimes here on YouTube. However, if you want to interact with chat, I'll mostly be active on the Twitch side starting next week on Tuesday, December 23rd. You can catch me there if you want, and I'll be doing the podcast episodes every Friday starting this Christmas. That being said, thank you guys for listening to me rant. Now on to the video. Alright,
Those
continue.
the okay, but anyways, so like I was saying,
Hmm.
yeah,
You
cause
completely
I
lost
was
your
in
train
the
of thought.
call. I sure did, but I was in a call with Josh. Lil Pro wasn't. Wait, was Lil Pro there?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, Lil Pro was there. It was me, Lil Pro, Josh, Sam, I think Lucas, and we were all
Lucas
trying
as
to
in
convince.
soda, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I was trying to convince Lil Pro to join the Neevilist Kingdom because he should. And then Sam was like, no, I was like, you don't want to join Starlit because they get blown up every 30 minutes, so on and so forth. Ooh,
Like the
because they
house
get blown
from
up.
X-Men, right?
They just get blown up every 30 minutes. You don't want to put yourself through that
But
kind of
Malik,
horror,
country blowing up every 3 years builds character, no?
perhaps.
Of course.
But
Yes,
I was
yes.
just like, still, you don't want to sit there and put yourself through some stuff like that. It's not worth it. And then Josh was like going on his spiel about why he should join his country and whatnot.
So,
And then
so what you're
Sam,
saying is Josh wants Lil Pro to join his country.
yes, he was trying. Well, we were all trying to convince Lil Pro that he should join one
Oh,
of our
okay, so it was like a
countries.
feeding frenzy.
Yeah. Um. Are we stuck? Are we still rolling?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're on live. Damn.
Uh, so you are aware that Lil Pro has chosen to be uh not neutral, nomadic. Nomadic.
I was not aware of that initially. No,
Yes, he's
but
currently like a builder for hire kind of deal. Turtle and Day recently just hired him to build a new house. I could probably pull it up on the recording later.
interesting. Interesting. Yeah,
Um,
but
I'm not sure what he acquires in exchange for his building purposes, or if he like also farms for them like what I do for other people. I really don't know what his motivations on the server currently are right now, other than just gear up. I did just supply
yeah.
him with netherite gear because he was in full diamond, but that shit was already max enchanted, so I don't know how he didn't have it in any way, shape, or
Mm,
form. Because if he was connected with either Turtle or Day Day, he would have absolutely had full netherite by now.
yeah.
Are there any other like international beefs going on besides the quick grab for a single player that happened to join?
Uh, as far as I'm aware, no, not really.
As far as you're aware. So how often are you like on the server these days?
Like I try to get on like every other day, so it's usually like every other day, pretty
So
much.
at least like a one or three times, one, 3 or 4 times a week, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, we were all just trying to get Lil Pro to join our whatchamacallits, and I was like, Starlight, they get blown up every 30 minutes. Josh, you don't want to join Josh's country and his group of lackeys and whatnot. You just don't want to do it.
Is that like
Okay,
the only
then
reason you have for not wanting to people to join Josh? Is just because he has this continuous group of people that he keeps near him at all times?
I just told him not to join Josh's country because it's just Josh. Like, that's literally it. That's what I told him. I was like, don't join Josh's. I mean, just look at Josh. Why would you want to be a part of it? That's literally what I said.
So are you saying that like you as a country have a problem with Molitovia, or just Josh as
Not
a
at all.
person?
Neither. But I do like picking fun at the fact.
Oh, so you're just poking fun?
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
I guess that's makes sense. We all do poke fun at each other every now and again, unless you're me, when then you're convicted
Yep.
a war felon.
Yep.
World War III gets called on, but only on you,
Yep.
and
Yep. Only on you. Yep.
you're actually convinced half the server that you're Hitler reincarnated, but there's no standing
Yeah.
evidence.
Not at all, but it's still there somehow, some way.
Of course, yes.
I'm most definitely gonna die this game. That's
Tell me
not
something.
good.
You have been a country longer than most people on the server, yet you've maintained this like neutrality on the server. Do you think
Hmm.
it's because you guys aren't on as much as anyone else, or because something else, some other reason?
I think that plays part of a reason as to why we're neutral, but I think the main reason is we just don't see any benefits in going out and being like, hey, we want this, or hey, you a bitch, and what we just don't
Yeah,
see. We are just peace loving people, pretty much. That's really
peace love.
about all there is
So you
to that.
declare that you guys are just peace-loving individuals who have no reason to seek out a fight.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I could
Ooh,
respect that, I
come
guess.
over here.
I guess as a grinder per se, I can respect that because that's similar to how I
Mm,
operate. Obviously, I don't spend much of my time practicing PvP combat or engagements. I usually just have people do that for me.
mm-hmm.
Uh, that's especially since this is such a high octane hostile server.
Uh, Whatever you just said.
So, Little Pro has been the most active member on the server currently. Do you have any doubts about that being true?
I believe it. Look, man, I just mind my business and stay in my lane and work on my plantation. And I don't really get involved in foreign affairs unless I absolutely have to.
Do you think the server would be as interesting as it is now if everyone else did that?
Mm, Probably not. Or I don't know, maybe. Either or.
So
I
that
leave
being
most of
said,
the
do you think it would
whatchamacallit.
be in interest of the server itself, not just you, but in interest of the server itself, for the Nivalis Kingdom, sorry, the Nivalis Kingdom to become more active in politics?
I mean, I don't really see what difference it would really make. Like I said, most of Josh's members are like OG, like fucking war veterans of WOC, so
So
I'm
despite
sure.
that, do you think Turtle and Day Day have a chance?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. You could say that with
Yeah.
like no reasonable doubt.
No reasonable doubt whatsoever. I
That
mean,
is interesting.
you said it yourself. You said that they were fucking in the top 100 of all Minecraft players or some bullshit like that.
Yes, that is true.
And I haven't
They are
seen
in the
them
top
go toe
100.
to toe. And then I was on when they went toe to toe with Josh and like that whole alliance thing that they had. And they completely they look, they did some things. Okay, I remember it. I can recall it. They did some things. I was very impressed actually. I was like, "Oh wow, these guys, they ain't shit to play about."
They did indeed, in their first incursion of Josh's group, they did indeed take out one person. I can't remember the exact name of the person who it was, but they did take out one person.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah.
those two versus Josh's entire group who had managed to find time in their day to hop on at the exact same time somehow.
Mhm.
This was back when Mr. Wonderful would AFK the server constantly. That I always found that to be very interesting. As soon as the incursion of the 2v12 event, which was the IAA versus Turtle and
Mhm.
Dede, as soon as that happened, Mr. Wonderful stopped appearing online and AFKing the server as often.
Interesting.
Do you
I
think lack of motivation due to item loss has any role to play in that?
mm, I think that's definitely a possibility.
Because that is around the time when the server started to die out in popularity.
But yeah, I can see that being a possibility. I mean, I know I'd have lack of motivation if I died and lost all my stuff.
Even if there are people on the server who are willing to give you back, if not even more than what you had before.
I mean, if they're able to do that, then that would give me some motivation.
So what if I told you I and several others have been operating that exact same type of trade?
Well, then I guess I'd have nothing to worry about personally.
Things like
Shoot, at
that
least get the
really
word
help a
around.
server like stay.
Mm-hmm.
And when we lose members, it really hurts the like. I'm talking like I'm an admin or some shit, but I'm literally just a player on the server. But when we lose like players, it only worsens the motivation factor of being on the server. Cause
Mm-hmm.
like if no one else is grinding, why should I? You know.
Yeah.
Which is the main reason why no Starlit players are active, because they believe no one else is on and grinding besides me, of course.
So, yeah, my question: what do you think would what do you think could stir, everybody in the direction of being more motivated to play on the server? Like, do you think like if some big like beefy conflict between like two large country, like just like a big fat war, like do you think that that would give everybody like more than enough motivation to get on and do what they got to do?
That is an intricate question to ask, because there are many factors that would lead to many players hopping on at the same time. One is obviously the motivation factor. We already talked about that. Two
Mm-hmm.
is the conflict factor. If there's conflict going on the server, obviously that drives people's interest. But there
Right.
is also the chance that, like, in the event of a war between two big countries, all the little countries and little factions will avoid being on the server because they'll be afraid of getting caught in the crossfire.
Right.
Which leaves only the two big groups. I don't want to I don't want to make up like a hypothetical scenario because that would sound like me pitting someone up against another, and
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know anyone's militaristic power just yet, since none of them have been on enough for me to scale it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a time back when the IAA was formed when everyone had this common enemy. This common enemy was Turtle and Day Day. Everyone wanted to hop on the server
Mm-hmm.
so that they could assist in the fight and the war effort against these two people.
Yep.
But that's because it was a large group versus a small group, and the large group believed they had a chance. I say believe
Mm-hmm.
weakly because they should have had a chance. In all odds, they should have had a chance against that.
They most definitely should have.
But if we can make like a conflict happen, and I say we, not just me or you, I mean like literally the entire server. If the server can cause a
Mm.
conflict to happen, that could probably drive up people's interest to get on the server more. But
Yeah.
I think what we need more now more than ever, is more events that allow people to do something, because this building event
Mm.
clearly is not working. This building event has flopped because everyone sees now that it's literally just Starlit and Josh. It's just Starlit and Josh because no one else is on the building, and Josh is the only one with an actual city.
Yeah. Tis be true. Tis be true.
And then you have Starlit with their with the schematics builds.
Right. Shoot. I think, and you know what? I think you're right about that. I think an event would definitely like get more people to get on and whatnot. But like, I feel like, what was I getting ready to say? Wait a minute. Hold on. Um, I don't know. Maybe just like another scavenger hunt, or like something that can offer a pretty substantial reward, like a scavenger hunt, or something, any literally anything, that would actually gear people to get on and do things. Cause yeah, quite frankly, it is just Starlet and Josh just competing. And then it's like Josh said, if Starlet wins the competition, then a few people will be getting unbanned. Um, which I don't know if that's gonna stir up any drama or whatever. If that does happen, but I don't know. If it does, then well, hey. But whatchamacallit, yeah, I don't know. I think we need something else to go along with. I don't know about like multiple events going on around the same
Obviously, yeah, because
time.
that would get really cluttered very
Yeah,
fast. Because, like,
that would
imagine if
get
we
very
did a
cluttered.
feast event and a building event on the same day. Like, what do I work
Right.
on? What am I supposed to be working toward?
Exactly.
But
Like,
I
what am
think
I
that,
supposed to?
but while we're on the topic of
Mm-hmm.
two events going at the same time, I think there is a way we can incorporate that. What if, like,
Mm-hmm.
we did do that? Because then there's the chance that we'd get all these big groups on and have multiple people working for different goals, right? So we have one group of people in the same group like operating towards getting the food, and then the other group is working on building, and then the other group is working on security and like grinding gear.
Mm-hmm.
That would incorporate everything that the server is missing, while also adding like a possible risk versus reward factor with the events. Like, we don't want to
Mm-hmm.
lose, but we really want to win.
Right.
So, but at the same time, that would also really screw over the smaller factions, because smaller factions can't do that. They literally just can't. And I'm not saying there are any, because right now, all I know of, as of today, I only know of three large groups that exist. Well, two
Mm-hmm.
large groups and a small one. We have Josh, three large groups and a small one, sorry. We have Josh, Starlit, you, and Turtle and Day Day.
Yeah.
Unless there's like another group that I don't know of or haven't mentioned, that is it. That is as far as I know. Those have been the competing groups so far for the past couple of events.
Yeah.
Of course, we had something interesting going with the Frost Crows, but then the Frost Crows decided to merge with Starlit for similar ideals.
Yeah. Which that took me by surprise. I did not think that that was going to happen.
But then there's this.
But
Uh,
well,
I thought their common enemy was Turtle and Day Day. Is that like a correct? Is that a base assumption to make?
I that's what I thought.
But here's the thing: I see them trade. I see them trading with Turtle and Day Day all the time. I see them like like paying for their services sometimes. Like, do you remember when Starlet was attacked and like completely lava casted? The reason they were lava
Mm-hmm.
casted is because they hired Turtle and Day Day to go attack Cold Risk. We all know this, right? But
Okay.
if they're enemies, why would they contract Turtle and Day Day to do work for them?
Right.
It just doesn't sit right in my
Hmm.
head. Like, that doesn't make much sense. If I were an enemy with you, I wouldn't be in this call. I wouldn't be in this call at all. I wouldn't be
Right.
talking to you. I wouldn't be giving away any information of any kind, because you could use that to get me, right?
Right.
Now imagine if we were complete enemies. I know nothing about you, and I just paid you to go
Mm-hmm.
do something for me. And you're obviously going to take the payment, because payment's good and the job's easy.
Right.
What? Why would I do that? Like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Like, that, no, that's not, that doesn't apply here,
That uh,
because these people weren't really harming Starlit at the time. They were just kind of existing in an area that happened to be close to Starlit, which leads me to
mm-hmm.
believe it was just Kelly being a fuck ass and sending Turtle and Day Day to go attack Cold Risk, which then got Starlit caught up in the crossfire because Cold Risk's group figured out that Starlit sent them. So then they attacked Starlit
Mm-hmm.
instead of Turtle and Day Day, which then perplexes me more. So instead of choosing to attack the people who attacked them, they went and attacked the weaker target on such a large scale that it got them banned, which is what I believe happened. That's how I see it. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
there enough to understand the complexity of the details that were at hand. I'm sure one of the other podcasts are probably going to mention it, and I should encourage you right now to go watch them. They're in the podcast channel down below.
Okay.
Anyways, but I don't know. It's a very confusing situation to wrap my head around, because I did show up for a few seconds. I never traveled to the Starlit base while it was happening. I watched as Maxi, Cold Risk, and who's the third guy? Septic. Septic. All three were
Mm-hmm.
there. Cold Risk was the one who was lava casting. He was very clearly lava casting for area control. He was not building a water slide like he claims he was. He was 100% doing it for area control.
Okay.
Then there was Maxi. He was the they called it the they called him the bodyguard, like the muscle. They called him the muscle because like if they were to attack Septic in any way,
Mm-hmm.
Maxi would instantly just destroy them because they had no gear left, they had no armor, they had no weapons, they had no tools, they couldn't really do anything besides watch
Mm-hmm.
what was happening happen. I showed up in Invis with no armor on, and I was just watching this happen. Uh, I really considered assisting them in the fight because this looks really sad. But I
Mm-hmm.
knew as soon as I would punch one of them, all three would hop on me. And I can't win a
Right.
1v3. Even if I was good at PvP, I can't win a 1v3. I can't. I'm
Yeah.
not Turtle and Day Day. I don't have a mace. And even more so, this isn't my thing to put my side in. This isn't where I take sides in. Because
Right.
this doesn't involve me. So I just stand around, and one of them sees me, so I run back into the nether portal. Cold Risk starts chasing me towards the nether portal, or at least that's what I see. I don't know if it was a mix-up on my end, or if like I misconstrued it as him just stepping off of the water and happening to go in the direction that I was going. But then he asks in chat, Zillos, where are you going? So now I can only believe that he's talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
As in, like, he's looking at me and watching me leave. So now I know I can't attack them. So I don't go back. I assume that he's following me into another portal. I watch the radial for a bit. He disappears. And eventually he leaves the game. We're leaving just
Mm-hmm.
Maxi and Septic. Septic then leaves the game, leaving just Maxi. So the thing is, Starlit is like all in the voice call, like, we need to jump Maxi and get his shit, right? We need to get his stuff, so we can fight back whenever they come back. But then they're like, wait, what if they just go back to base and pull out another right set and then just kill us again?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I should probably say this now. The reason I was there at the Starlit base during the incursion is because they wanted an E-chest so they could get their stuff back and have a chance at fighting. Unfortunately, when I
Mm-hmm.
placed the E-chest, one of the Starlit members proceeded to break it for some reason. Uh,
Yep.
it was a very uncalculated move on their part, definitely, to be sure. Very unfortunate. But I had done all I could do. I left. I done all I could do. I leave. I go back to supplying Turtle and Day Day's base, because, again, I have a job to be paid for. And Starlit certainly ain't gonna be paying me anytime soon, because they're getting their shit rocked. I offered to supply them with netherite sets. I went back to base, grabbed a netherite set, dropped it to Kelly. He then proceeded to put it in the E-chest, which was then broken by the Starlit members, so now they had nothing. And then Kelly's account gets banned, the Nintendo account. This is when the Nintendo account gets banned, and we realize that Septic or someone on Septic's crew is spam reporting the text chat messages.
Oh,
Watch what you
good.
say in chat, by the way, folks. It will get you. But
Okay. So.
the text chat is very brutal, especially the reporting system. If you literally just send like 3 reports on the same text chat message, it's a guarantee ban. There's no way they're coming back from that.
Damn. No,
Especially if you
that
have
is.
like 3 people sending in 3 reports on the same text chat message.
Oh, so they just be doing that on purpose.
Which leads me to believe that all 3 of them were reporting. But when we questioned them on that matter later on, they proceeded to say that they did not report any chat messages. But they also said they were building a water
Lying.
slide with lava and water, so
Oh, well.
before we continue, I am obligated to ask you if you are okay with this being posted online on a YouTube channel. This
Yeah, I don't
conversation we're
care.
having. Okay. That has to be included in the video, because if I don't include that, obviously it looks bad on my part for one, recording a conversation with you without your consent, and two, posting it online without your consent.
Right.
I'm gonna ask that question in every interview that I ask, but it's important that I ask it midway through and not at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning or the end, because beginning sounds horrible and at the end sounds worse. It's like at the beginning
Okay.
it sounds like I'm
Well,
like,
that makes
oh, okay,
sense.
so I'm gonna record everything you say, chop it up, and make you say something really vile. No.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna end up posting most of this conversation. I'll probably clip bits where like we're just talking about Fortnite and shit, like,
Mm.
out, but this whole segment's probably gonna stay.
Okay. Well, shoot, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it is raining,
Oh
raining,
yeah, it's
yo.
bad out there. Before we continue anything, do you have any like other questions you'd like to ask
Um,
regarding the server?
mm, Nothing that I can think of right now off the top of my scalp.
Like there are no groups you're curious about.
Um, no, not really.
kind of sticking to your own bubble kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, just kind of minding my business. Look,
How
if
are
it
the
ain't got
slaves
nothing to
coming
do with
along,
me.
by the way? I hear you guys are having a slave dynamic going on over in the Nivalis Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I got me some little house slaves, some little golems
I
to sit there
see.
my workout. Yeah, and then I'm trying to. Ooh.
So public outcry is that many people do not agree with the slave. I can't take a stance on this because I have worked with Starlit and they had house slaves, aka the copper golems.
Hmm.
So, but I never really saw them as a necessity in a good society. But many people are claiming that your use of house slaves and potential use of human slaves on the server could be a problem. What is your response to that?
Well, I mean, it's not gonna be no problem. It's not like I'm sitting there mistreating my slaves.
So you're saying they'll be
You know.
paid?
Oh yeah, they'll be paid.
Like in what way? Like will you gear them up? Will you give them resources? Will you give them
Yeah,
valuables
they'll be
or
geared and yeah, they'll be geared up, and then they'll, of course, really, it's just they're most likely going to be paid in like either some kind of like currency that we establish in the future, or through like gear, or like free housing or some shit like that.
no? That
Um,
has me curious. You said currency. You're gonna develop
yes,
an actual currency for trade.
uh, perhaps.
Will this
Yeah,
be
we
an
do plan on
international
becoming.
or just a national thing? Like, will you be using
Um,
this currency just within your country or within other countries?
Right now, I was thinking of just using it within the country. If I can somehow make a way to um, be able to use it internationally, then I would love to do that. I think that'd be a very cool
So there is
concept.
one thing that boggles me with that. How will you make a currency like that? What would it be made out of?
Um, that's a fantastic question. Probably end up being gold.
So
Um,
like a named gold.
yeah,
So how would you
like
prevent the reproduction of this currency?
Um, that's a great question. Because it was just something I more thought of. I haven't gotten around to like,
Then there's the
wait a
matter
minute.
of mass production for your country itself. How would you get a valuable resource like gold and mass?
Most likely just end up doing a fuck ton of mining.
I see. Yeah, that sounds painful.
Yeah. Yes, very much so.
And lastly, about the slave question. When you're, I'm gonna say human because obviously golems this
Mhm.
doesn't apply to. If your country were to ever be attacked, would you take matters to protect your human slaves?
Yes.
Would they be recognized as people?
Yes.
So the last question is, why do you use the term slaves to describe this group of people who work for you and you protect?
Because I need somebody to do this work, and I'm not gonna do them. And it's a lot to do. It's a lot of stuff to get set up, and I just need extra hands. And for real, it's a plantation. I like slaves.
So,
I have slaves
so in that matter, how are these not employees?
because I'm not going to physically sit there and employ them. If they're brought to me, I'm gonna be like, you're going to do this, that, left, right, center, and you're going to like it, or you can get whipped. Either
So
one.
where would
And
these people come from?
a multitude of places. Either new people who would join and end up joining our country, or we are taking prisoners. Okay, we're always willing to take prisoners of war or whatever. If they need to be punished and they need to be sentenced to something. I'll be like, hey, send them my way. They can be slaves on my plantation. Okay,
That has
look,
me
I just got
curious.
there.
Cause
Yeah.
Starlet took a person as captive before. His name was Warrior. Are you familiar with Warrior?
Mhm. I am not.
Warrior is actually, it's hard to say the exact history of this account. Warrior is an ally or is Cold Risk. I can't remember the exact terms, but he was an ally of someone named Cold Risk who was an ally of someone named Monkey BO2. Are you familiar with that name?
Uh, with who?
Monkey
What's your name?
BO2.
I am familiar with that name. I thought that was the old monkey dude who got banned.
Yes, yes, he is. So the reason I bring this up is because whenever Starlit kidnapped, well, not I say kidnapped, but they warned him. They said they were gonna kidnap him. Whenever they
Hmm.
said they were gonna take Warrior as a prisoner if he showed up on the land again, he showed up on the land again. They took him prisoner via him. He would leave every time they declared a 2-minute warning, but they found his exact location where he left and boxed up the area and claimed it, thus
Oh.
taking the server's very first prisoner. Human prisoner, I should say, because villagers have existed on the server for way too long. But
Mm.
when this happened, this set off a chain of events leading to the lava casting and utter destruction of the original Starlit base. Do you think something like that could happen if you guys take prisoners?
Mm, yes and no. I think anything is a possibility. But like I said, I treat my slaves pretty well, so I wouldn't see no reason for my slaves to like uprise against me or something. But like I said, everything's a possibility. So maybe that could happen. Maybe it could. But if that does, then that will be dealt with in whatever way that we see fit of dealing with it. Um,
So basically, I'll cross that bridge when I get there kind of thinking.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Seems to
much.
be a response to most of the questions today, but I digress. I'm really struggling to think here because, like, this just shifts the perspective entirely. The original concept of you guys taking slaves was that you guys would literally just take people off the streets and then turn them into slaves, not pay them, and force them to do manual labor. But what you were explaining is just common employment, but with designated jobs, which is also common employment.
Well, they're more forced jobs.
Like, the idea of this is the comparison of a fast food employee to well, a slave. Like, that doesn't concur in my mind because I am a fast food employee IRL, but
Mhm.
still, that just boggles me a little bit because everyone seems to be blowing that way out of proportion. Then, because I guarantee you, someone's going to be talking about this exact matter on their podcast. Podcast in the description, by the way.
Well, okay. Honestly, and it's like I would sit down on multiple other podcasts and dive into our whole slave dynamic and all of our systems and how they're going to function. But I think I'm gonna let the people guess. I'd love to know the theories. I'd love to know the theories. I'd love to know what everybody else thinks, especially if they're blowing this out of proportion. I mean, I think that's a little interesting. But shoot, if that's what they want to do, I'm gonna just keep them guessing. Look, I will leave them guessing. But if somebody does
And is
tune
this
into the,
because you think it would make the server more interesting, or
no, not really. I personally like to hear the many theories that people have said or claimed about my country and whatnot. I think I take personal interest upon it. I don't know if it will interest others, but yeah, I know I would be interested in hearing that.
what is your role in the Nibelus Kingdom?
I'm the prime minister.
The Prime Minister,
I go
right.
by, yes, I go
Because
by prime minister on
Naira
time.
is the leader, which I should probably be talking to Naira right now, but unless she's busy.
Actually, yeah, I think she has a performance later on.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, I mean, we're technically both. Well, technically, we both are the leaders of our kingdom. It's just I kind of handle most of the decision making, and then I just kind of send it up to her for approval. And if she approves of it, then what's past is past. But if not, then we sit down, we talk, we figure out some kind of compromise, and then we move on.
Kind of like Congress, in a way.
Yes.
With that, I think we are due on time. Thank you for your time, Malik.
Oh yes, no problem, no problem.
All right, and recording.